Corey, it happened. They came to an agreement. The NBA, the Players Union, there's going to be basketball on December 22nd. They figured out the salary cap, which is going to remain flat. They figured out the escrow, which is a gift to the players the way it worked out. We get games back, man. What are you excited about seeing now that the games are coming back?
I can't wait for basketball. I can't wait for the Christmas Day games. I can't wait. I mean, as a fan of basketball, I am just through the roof. I'm so happy they got it done. But two teams come to mind, the Nets and the Warriors. I want to see what Steve Nash and his coaching staff can do with those two superstars and Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving. I want to know how like the chemistry between the new coaching staff and the star players go about. And I want to see Andrew Wiggins with a fully healthy Warriors team. I want to see how they use them.
I'm curious about the Warriors were near the top of my list too, because I want to see, you're right. Will Andrew Wiggins accept a role? Because if he does and just plays hard in that role, he is going to thrive there. Not at that salary, but he's going to thrive there, and the Warriors suddenly become a much more dangerous team. I'm curious about like you said, the Nets. But even before all that, I am curious about free agency. I am curious about, it is going to be a whirlwind. Free agency is going to open on the 20th and blast straight through till the camps open on the 1st. It is going to be, there's not as many big name free agents, but there's going to be trades. It's going to be condensed teams. The salary cap didn't move, so there's teams looking to dump salary. It is going to be nuts for about a week and a half. It's going to be crazy NBA July, but just in November.
Yeah, let's just say I'm happy that I'm not an NBA agent because for 2 days your phone's going to be just nonstop buzzing. But as a fan, it's going to be a lot of fun seeing basically following all the Woj bombs and Shams and everybody else following on Twitter trying to figure out what's happening next. But overall, once we actually when the dust settles and basketball's back, I just cannot wait to see what happens, particularly, like I said, in Golden State, because they were so dominant in the mid to late 2010s, right? Then last year, everyone was injured. What happened? People wrote them out. I can't wait to see them being like a phoenix and rise from the ashes and hopefully take the Lakers, for a ride.
I think that's going to be one of the other fun things is the West is stupid deep with good teams. Denver made a leap and they believe they're contenders. They're probably one player away, but they've also got some room to maneuver right now. The Clippers, new coach, bringing back that core that we thought was better. We'll see if they get some chemistry and take a step forward. The Lakers will be good, but look, this is what happens to championship teams, right? Rondo wants to get paid. KCP wants to get paid. They're probably going to lose Dwight Howard. They're going to have to make moves. And on top of that, just you keep going down and down. It's like Phoenix didn't make the playoffs last year, but man, they look like a team who could make the playoffs this year. Who's going to slide out? It's going to be, there's just not going to be between assuming some injuries, but between 11 and 3 is going to be no gap in the West. And you just can't have a lot of bad nights, especially in a condensed season and a condensed schedule.
Yeah, load management comes to a whole new level right now because you got to rest the guys who went deep in the playoffs, but you can't afford to lose too many games because you're right, that standings, unlike the bubble, if they end up having fans at their arenas and having playoffs at home stadiums, home court advantage is going to be a huge advantage for a lot of those teams in the West. In an incredibly competitive West. But the way that I see the lower seeds and the teams right on the edge of contention, I see that kind of like March Madness where, look, the number 1 seed might get upset by a good 16. You never know what's going to happen. So that's the way that I'm looking at the Suns or, Denver or any of those teams right there. They might be able to drop a good team in the first round or second round of the playoffs.
Yeah, look, I was running through it the other day, and Houston Rockets with James Harden, with Russell Westbrook, I'm like, I think I've got them 6th. It's just crazy in the West, and that opens things up. That's just going to make it fun. And the East is also just kind of open because, Boston's there. Toronto, we'll see what moves they make in the offseason. Can Miami repeat what they did? There's just, in the bubble, there's a lot of questions, and they're going to get answered really quickly, which is good because we're getting basketball before Christmas.
I can't believe that Boston's flying under the radar too, by the way. As far as relative to these other teams, we were talking about the process and 76ers, what's going to happen in Philly. Then you have, of course, the Bucks coming back, number 1 seed, what they're going to do, Miami. But Boston is quietly putting together a dynasty over there as far as the pieces that they have. Marcus Smart, Jason Tatum, it's a very good Jaylen Brown. It's a very, very good core there. So I cannot wait to see them slowly take the throne over there, or at least try to.
Yeah, exactly. And Milwaukee's had that throne, but how do they handle the pressure of a Giannis Antetokounmpo contract year? Like, how does that go for them? Because everyone knows, like, he might have other landing spots should he want them. Like, if he wants to go, there's 29 other teams that will make it happen. So how do they handle that pressure is going to be fascinating to watch.